deeply thrilled to be standing up here, as I have many years before, but in a different space, which is the space of having made the most important decision of my life so far, which is to step into leadership as president of this incredible organization. You know, Demos means the people, and for me it really is about the people. Our extraordinary executive team of vice presidents, 4 women and 1 man, each of whom could be running an organization on their own. And our extraordinary group of staff, our researchers, advocates, legal strategists, communicators, and organizational staff, who are truly the leaders of tomorrow, and they give me great faith in the dynamic future of social change in America. And those people are certainly why I've loved working at Demos for a decade. But it's the American Demos, the people who make up our diverse and dynamic nation, are what drive us every day at Demos. Because we don't just advocate for people, but we advocate for the very idea of the people, of one nation, united by a shared faith. We believe that forging a true Demos out of the people who happen to be here in this country right now is the great unfinished business of our time. Because ours is the world's boldest experiment in democracy. You know, we are a nation of ancestral strangers who have all been met here with the promise that out of many we could become one, and that we could all have an equal say and an equal chance. Obviously, today, our economy and our democracy are far from equal. As we outlined in our foundational report, Stacked Deck, leading political scientists are now concluding that because of our distorted, unrepresentative electorate and the even more wildly unrepresented donor class, our policy agenda in America, particularly on economic issues, simply does not represent the will of the vast majority of American people. And so policies written by and for a narrow elite have stalled upward mobility, and they've stymied what should be the true measure of economic progress, whether our economy can be dynamic, innovative, and inclusive enough to actually tackle our global challenges. That's what we're facing. We are facing the forces in our politics who are holding on to this tiny idea, white knuckle, to this idea of we the people that is so small, and they don't see the beauty that we see, the beauty that we can be. We're facing the fact that a cashier who makes $7.25 an hour doesn't just only get to buy $7.25 an hour worth of food for her children, but she also can only buy $7.25 worth of education for herself, $7.25 worth of a say on the job, $7.25 worth of respect in our culture, and $7.25 worth of voice in our democracy. That's what we're facing. But fortunately, that's where Demos comes in. That's why 3 months ago, I threw in my lot with a group of people who are creative and restless and fierce with the opposition and humble with their friends, who had the foresight under Miles' leadership to know 15 years ago that the fight of our lives would be about inequality in our democracy and our economy. A group that's powerful, that moves ideas powerful enough to improve the lives of millions of people through the full cycle of change, championing over-the-horizon policy ideas, shifting the narrative to clear the way for their acceptance, and then advocating until we win. And when we do, whether it's the landmark credit card reforms that we crafted and pushed for over nearly a decade, we went from being laughed out of the halls of Congress to sitting in the Rose Garden when that bill was signed, or because representing a quarter of the voting age population who can now enjoy the right and the freedom to register and vote on election day because of our advocacy of 4% individual votes. create new partnerships, to serve something much more, because they know that what's gotten us here is not going to take us there. You know, I believe, and I would not be here if I did not truly believe, that after 400 years in this country, now is the time for a true demos to rise in this country. Now is the time for the American people to see themselves in each other's faces and to be committed to something that goes beyond origin or language or race or creed, but a shared purpose and a shared dream of true freedom that can only actually be accomplished together. I believe that the 20th century was full of movements that helped prove to us in our public culture that every person has dignity. And I believe that in the 21st century, the lesson that we need to learn, and I'm so proud of Demos' role in helping articulate that lesson, is that not only does every individual have dignity, but together